Federal employees of every single agency are now on the chopping block. But why? Well, it has to do with the fact that we now have reports that only 6% of federal employees are even showing up to work. Yeah, that's a problem. So, we're going to see somebody do something about it. President-elect Donald Trump has vowed to clean up the mess. One thing you need to understand, he is putting two people in charge of this. This is the Department of Government Efficiency. Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, they're going to be in charge of cleaning up the mess. Now, how are they going to do this? What's this going to look like? And how will this impact every single one of us? Well, we're going to get to that in just a moment. But first, all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So there's a lot of reasons why 6% of people showing up to the workforce is a problem. This says House Speaker balks at Senate report showing only 6% of federal workers show up in person on a full-time basis and say that's absurd. Goes on to say a paltry 6% of the federal workforce report in person on a full-time basis, while almost 1/3 of federal workers are remote on a full-time basis, in a sharp turnaround from the pre-pandemic era in which only 3% telework daily. Now, we're going to get to more of this report in just a moment, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is because of what Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are asking Congress to do. Look at this right here. It says Doge's Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy want Congress to pass huge spending cuts. However, it's a tough sell. Now, why? Why do they want these huge spending cuts? Well, it's simple. The U.S., it keeps getting deeper and deeper into debt. Okay? That's going to be a problem eventually. So, in order to slow this down or potentially go the other way, the first thing we need to do is have some spending cuts. But where? Well, look at this. It says first, they're seeking major cuts to federal spending. It says any meaningful reductions will be nearly impossible without legislation to cut Social Security benefits, Medicare, and Medicaid, long considered a third rail in Congress. Okay, so first off, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, there's so much money going to those programs that if we do not see some type of cut there, then yes, it's not going to look like we did much. But here's the reason why I bring this to your attention. We don't necessarily need to see cuts there. Okay? Well, as far as cuts, the main cuts that they're looking at is to get rid of all the illegal immigrants, okay? The non-citizens. Those are the ones that they're trying to push out of the programs. And especially for programs like Medicaid, where we have thousands of people that have signed up for this under the Biden administration simply because they pretty much opened up the eligibility requirements. That was really it. And well, they want to change this. Now, I want to show you something. This is what their overall message was. Okay, it says their overall message was popular too. Their message was they want a smaller federal government, they want looser regulations, and a private sector approach to the public sector. That's what they've been asking for. Okay, that is what they want. We'll see if that actually happens. But look at this. It says Musk and Ramaswamy are eyeing federal remote work policies to help slash $2 trillion from budget. A simple change to the policy. We don't get rid of the workers. Okay? Not essentially. What we're doing is trying to bring the workers back to the office. Now, I'm going to show you something in a second. And when you see this, okay, it's going to be somewhat shocking, but the majority of people don't actually work from the office. Okay? They actually work from home. The majority never show up. We have certain departments that there is actually 0% of people show up. Okay? And from a 200 square foot space of office space, 200 square feet. Okay? How many people do we find in there every single day? It's 0. On average, you take 200 square feet. They say 0 people are in the office. If you look at some of these, like the Department of Agriculture, and you look at where their company cell phones, their government cell phones are located during the workday, they're saying on average, 3 people are in the office every single day. Now, here's the reason why this is extremely concerning. I want to show you this, okay? Right here. It's going to be a little bit tough to see, kind of do that. Anyway, so Department of Energy. You can see right here, the size of the building. These are the top 10 emptiest government headquarters. This is where it's located. This is the size of the building, okay? Or right here, in square feet, it is almost 1 million square feet, okay? The 2023 daily average occupancy based off their cell phone, 8. Okay? Oh, that was what I was talking about. Department of Energy, not the Department of Agriculture. Department of Agriculture, right here, 456 people. Okay? 6%, the approximate utilization of a 200 square foot per occupant. 0% for Department of Energy. Department of Global Media, 2%. Department of Agriculture, 6%. You got Department of Labor, 9%. You got the Office of Personal Management, 11%. Okay. Department of Commerce, 11%. You get the idea. These buildings are empty. Guess what the government could do? They could repurpose the buildings. They could put agencies together. Why do they need to be in separate buildings? They can put them all together. They don't need a different building. Sell the buildings, right? They can get some of their money. That's what they're looking at. Now, here's what I think is interesting. Look at this article right here. It's from the Washington Post. It says, Hill Republicans are mad that other federal workers also work remotely. It says, when non-congressional employees work from home, it's an outrage. When the House spends nearly half of weekdays out of session, that's hardly worth mentioning. So what you need to understand, okay, here's the thing. Right now, many lawmakers, both in the House and the Senate, they spend a lot of time out of session, which means they can go do whatever they want. They can be back at their home states, wherever, right? It doesn't matter. They don't have to be in Washington, D.C. Okay. I understand that. But, here's the big thing. Why are we paying these people? Why are we paying these people to not do their job? And this is where Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy ironed this federal remote work policy to help slash $2 trillion from the budget. Guess what? They're going to be asking Congress to vote against themselves because, again, Congress, they love being able to go home. This is part of the issue. So right now, federal employees are on the chopping block. Every single one of them. That they're going to be asked to come into work, do their job, or potentially risk not receiving any money. But look at this. This is kind of where everything all started. When I was looking at different things to talk about, this is where things kind of started right here. Let me show you this. And this was actually just a few days ago. It says thousands of government employees land deal to continue telework with the Biden administration appointee. Now, their contract will allow workers to stay hybrid until 2029. This just went through. Okay? This just went through. It says right here, a union representing thousands of federal and government workers landed members a work-from-home deal ahead of the incoming Trump administration's effort to force workers to return to office. It says the American Federation of Government Employees reached an agreement with the Social Security Administration to protect telework. It says the updated contract, which affects about 42,000 government employees, will allow workers to stay hybrid until 2029. This was signed by the former SSA Commissioner, Martin O'Malley. I guarantee you this will be overturned. This will go back to the way things were. This is not going to fly. And I say this because so many lawmakers right now are upset that others are working from home more than 50% of the time, but yet, okay, they're demanding more money. They want a raise. Keep in mind, the federal government employees just recently received like a 4 to 5% increase. Okay, a pay increase. So they're getting a pay increase to do more work from home, potentially working for other employers. Yeah, or just taking days off, right? Watching their kids, going on vacation. That's what we're paying for. That's what the American people's tax dollars are paying for at this time. So, I bring this to your attention because this is one of the ways that the two people running the Department of Government Efficiency are planning to cut spending, is to pretty much tell people come back to work, stay in the office, or you're gone. So, we'll see what happens with that, but as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.